Hello YouTube, this is Ryan, aka the Habitual Line Stepper. I hope this video finds you well. Back at you again with a car video this time. You have no idea how powerful you are until you have to be powerful. You may be in a position right now where you feel like everything you're doing is for nothing, that you feel like you're standing in quicksand. You may feel like, you know what, this whole life thing, man, I just don't have this thing figured out. And you may be in this sense of hopelessness. You may feel like, you're not doing enough, or nothing good is happening for you. You may feel like everything's against you. You may feel like, you know what, my family, aren't supportive. I don't have any real strong support system around me. This is where your proving ground starts. Because no matter what anyone else says for you, this is your journey, and this is your journey to walk alone. You're finding out at this particular moment in time what you're made of. It's a tough thing. It's a thing that where you cannot see at the end of the tunnel. You cannot see it. You only have to go by your grit and your determination and the little clues that are along the way in the path. Other than that, you're basically figuring this thing out as you go. And when you're in a situation where you have seemingly no support, you're drawing from your own personal strength at this point, because no one's going to appreciate you or your journey or the effort that you're putting in more than you. Only thing is, you have to keep pushing. You have to keep going. You have to keep this drive together. And it's a lonely journey. It's a hard journey. But if you keep your head in the game, if you keep pushing towards the goals that you want, if you exercise that strength in you, that determination, that willingness to say, you know what, if I'm going to be alone with no support, then I'm going to do it alone with no support. You keep pushing. You have no idea how strong you are until you have to be. Speaking from personal experience, there have been situations in my life that have been challenging to me, that have been, through no fault of my own, but it is what it is. I had to push through. You have people who you would think would have your best interest in mind, and they don't. They fail you. And to be fair, people got their own stuff going on. People got their own problems, their own insecurities, their own, they got the whole world going on. They don't have time to focus in on your issue the way you would focus in on your issue. You have to be the one to pull yourself together and say, you know what, despite everything else, I'm going to do what I have to do. And that is a strength that most people don't have. Because most people will sit back and they will be broken because they feel like the world is against them, and they'll just give up and say, you know what, it ain't worth it. Which in my mind, in my way of thinking, is a horrible way to think, because what's the alternative? Okay, either you're going to go for your goal, get beat up along the way, and ultimately achieve the dreams and the goals that you wanted to achieve and realize. Or let the world beat you down, take the same butt kicking you're taking, as if, you were trying to go and get your goals, and the world's still going to kick you in the teeth. It's still going to make it hard for you. But you're going to just sit there and never realize your goals. That's going to be the end result of what you're doing. If you're going to take a beating, and you're going to take a beating, you're going to take a beating whether you choose to do something or you're not. You're going to do it. So you might as well do it for something. You know, even if you don't necessarily hit your goal exactly, if you look back at where you're at, you'll find yourself much further ahead than you would have been had you stopped or had you just never even started. You'll be surprised the strength that you really have from your determination, how intelligent you are, the things that you'll be able to figure out along the way. Will everything be perfect? Will you get everything right the first time? Will you not make mistakes? You will make mistakes along the way, but that's part of the proving ground. There's things that you don't know. There's things that you would not know unless you tried and failed and then learned from those failures. That is life. It's a constant lesson. Constantly, all the way up until you are no longer here with us. It's a constant proving ground. It's a constant test. There's constant learning. And if you want your life bad enough, you will push yourself. You will develop that strength, because it does take a strength. It's a very specific type of strength, because that inner strength is something that you can't work out. It's not a weight you can lift. There's nothing physically you can do. It's a fire within you that says, get up and do this thing. Get up and do this thing. In a previous video, I talked about discipline. Discipline is not a feel-good story. Oh, every day I feel good, I'm going to go ahead and do this thing. No. Discipline kicks in on those days that you don't want to do it. When you say, I'm too tired, or, maybe tomorrow or stuff like that. Discipline will tell you to get up, do what you have to do, because down the road, you're going to thank yourself for doing those things. I'm not saying don't rest, because that's part of the journey. I'm saying when you know you're supposed to be doing something, and you choose not to because you feel like it's too hard, or you feel like, oh, well, no one's really watching or applauding me or sharing my success. You sharing your success. You learn. Because in this journey of life, one thing you better learn how to do, and that's be your biggest fan and cheer yourself on. Any small accomplishment, celebrate it. Because it's still movement. It's still going to get you closer, and closer to your goal. Like I said, you know how powerful you are until you're put to the test. Until you have been stressed to the point where you're like, listen, I got to do something. I have to make a move somehow. I gotta do something. So with that being said, thank you so much for listening to this video. You are more powerful than you think you are. Keep going. Keep going. Pull up that inner strength, that fire within you to get the thing that you need to get done. Again, this is Ryan. I'm the Habitual Line Stepper. Thank you for listening to this video. Peace over everything, because peace is everything.